Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Melissa Benoist and Supergirl because we got some news in regards to the Supergirl film, and Melissa Benoist is in a brand new TV show over on Netflix. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. Okay guys, so as you know, post Supergirl or post any Arrowverse show that we've previously covered on the channel, we like to cover what they're doing next. So we covered briefly The Girls on the Bus, which was the HBO Max show that Melissa was working on, and now we got a brand new show. Same thing goes for Grant Gustin, and whatever he will do in the future, we'll continue to cover that, because I know a lot of you guys are fans of the actors, and you're not just fans of the TV shows that they were doing previously. So let's go ahead and break this down. So let's talk about the Supergirl news first, and then we'll get into the Melissa Benoist new TV show trailer. So Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, as you all know, has been filming for a good few months. It's been about 3 months or so since they started filming, and sometime last month we got our first look at Supergirl behind the scenes. That was just some like really low quality drone footage, and that was posted online. It made the rounds and I briefly covered it, but I haven't been very active in the last 2 weeks. I was away at the Cannes Film Festival in France, wasn't really able to make videos in my spare time there. And so since my last video on Supergirl, they have actually wrapped filming on the movie. Now, I know one of my good friends, Flashverse, shout out to Flashverse, he's got a great channel. Most of you guys will probably know him based on his Flash coverage, but he was actually surprised to hear that it was only a 3-month shoot. Now, obviously, Hollywood productions can go on very long. Like, for example, Mission Impossible, that went on way longer than usual. However, most films actually shoot for about 3 to 4 months, and Supergirl is within that time frame. And so it was announced recently that Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow has finished filming, and it is officially wrapped because a user on Threads, Pop Culture Nerd, asked James Gunn for an update. And then they also went on to say, James, I want to hear from you with this news just to confirm, has Supergirl really wrapped filming? In response, James Gunn replied, yes it has. So that is actually major news because I didn't actually know that it was done, but this basically confirmed, yep, they're finished filming. However, that means they're going to be going into post-production, and so that will be their next focus with this. Actual film productions don't stop right after the filming, like they have to get right into editing and CGI and everything like that, so that's very important. And as Screen Rant, which is the article we're breaking down, notes, basically, despite the overall production wrapping on Supergirl more recently, Jason Momoa, who, fun fact guys, I actually saw at the Cannes Film Festival, he was sat like a couple of rows back from me, and he basically stopped filming as Lobo in Supergirl a while ago, and so that was earlier in the schedule, so that was like mid-April, but they continued filming beyond that. But things are looking up in regards to Supergirl and where they're at right now. Now let's move on to the next thing. This is Millie Alcock, who shares the advice that she received for playing Supergirl, and this is in an IndieWire article. So this is how it goes. So Alcock will soon be making her debut as Supergirl, the cousin of Superman, in James Gunn's Superman. So yeah, she will appear in Superman before Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, and that is slated for next year. So in 2026 summer, that's when Supergirl is coming out. So plot details are being kept under wraps for the film, but if you've read the comic, you kind of know where it's going to be going. But it has a script by actress and writer Anna Noguera, and the film is inspired by Tom King's comic book novel of the same name. And so this is what she had to say in regards to what this next section of this article is saying. So although she hasn't seen Gunn's film yet, we asked the actress if she received any advice from anyone to prepare for stepping into the famed DC Studios role. She said, no, I asked. And they were like, just prepare to be bruised, there will be battle scars and you'll be proud of them. And that definitely happened. So that's pretty much what she had to say in regards to Supergirl, and she's been actually a bit more open about her being Supergirl recently. Like, she didn't do many interviews or anything like that after she was announced. Like, she kind of just went head first into it, and I presume they just wanted to keep a lot of it under wraps. So it's good that she's coming out, doing a couple more interviews, saying a few things about the film, about her role, about the way she's taking inspiration from other versions of Supergirl and what to expect when actually going in. Now she's finished it, obviously that's a big experience for her. We're presuming she's going to play Supergirl quite a lot more in the DCU, and we'll first see her in Superman, so looking forward to that. But let's talk about the Melissa Benoist of all of this. I know a lot of you guys are probably waiting for this part of the video, and this is to do with the new Netflix show, The Waterfront. So as I said at the start of the video, Melissa hasn't done too much since Supergirl ended, right? Like, Supergirl ended a while ago. It was, I believe, 2021, so that's nearly or about 4 years ago in November. So that is actually quite a long time. So since then, she worked on the Girls on the Bus. That was a TV show that obviously she put a lot of effort into. I believe she was one of the producers on the show alongside some other people, and she was one of the main cast members in the ensemble TV show. However, it didn't go very well. It was on HBO Max. It lasted 1 season. It was cancelled after that. At the time, I thought it's a big shame, but TV shows are really hit and miss right now. Like, you really have to have a good hook to keep people engaged, and for companies like HBO Max or like Netflix to actually continue with your show, because they can be brutal. It doesn't matter if they produce season 1 and they're like, okay, let's not go ahead with a season 2 because it hasn't really worked out financially and maybe there's not a lot of interest from the actual viewers. So what's the point in doing a season 2? I get that from a kind of business standpoint, but it is a shame because a lot of these people put a lot of effort into these TV shows to try and make them the best that there are. And I think Melissa put a hell of a lot of effort into the Girls on the Bus. So that was probably quite a big disappointment for her, but she's moved on and she is working with Netflix this time, and this is her next big project. And make sure you guys go ahead and watch the trailer for the Waterfront TV show. I'll leave the link in the description below. It'll be the top link, so you guys can go ahead and watch it and then come back to this video, because I think it looks like an interesting show. Now, I'm going to give you a little breakdown about what Netflix is saying about this TV show, just to give some context, and obviously we can talk about the Melissa Benoist of it all in just a second. So, the Waterfront introduces us to the Buckley family and their hometown of Havenport, North Carolina in America, where they reign supreme for now. So it's a big family, they own a lot of things, and this is from the creator of Scream, Kevin Williamson. I had no idea he was making this TV show, and that is absolutely super exciting for those of you who are Scream fans like myself, but also he is the creator of Dawson's Creek as well, so maybe some of you guys like that as well. And so the upcoming TV show centers on the fictional Buckley family and their crumbling fishing empire. So the main person is Holt McCallany, sorry if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, who stars as Harlan Buckley, who is the dad of the family, and he is joined by Maria Bello, who you may know from Beef, and then also Melissa Benoist, who we all know, who's going to be playing their daughter Bree, who is an addict in recovery who's lost custody of her son, who is Dilla, played by Brady Hepner. So the Waterfront explores family dynamics and the lengths that people will go when their legacy is on the line. We've never really seen a story about the commercial fisherman told before in any sort of dramatic way in a family drama, Williamson tells Netflix. And from what we can see in the trailer, things are spiraling out of control as the Buckleys take increasingly desperate measures to keep their fishing and restaurant businesses from sinking. And it's apparent that the family is strapped for cash. They have to come up with $2 million in less than 3 months, and in an attempt to do that, they actually turn to drugs and they try and smuggle $10 million worth of cocaine and opiates. Obviously that isn't a great thing, but that's where Topher Grace comes in. Most of you guys know who Topher Grace is. Obviously, he is well known for being part of the Spider-Man universe back in the day, and so he is playing a dangerous drug lord looking to assert his position. So this is everything you kind of need to know about this TV show. Melissa is going to be playing the daughter of, you know, this big family, and she is going to be going through quite a lot because she is a recovering addict in the show. Obviously, that is something you have to really think about and portray in a way that kind of highlights her struggles, but also has a little bit of optimism about her trying to overcome her addiction. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it gave you an update in regards to what Melissa is doing, what the Supergirl film is doing right now. So remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.